Today's workout is a 10-minute first trimester abs workout. We'll strengthen our core and prep our abs for pregnancy. All you'll need is a mat. Let's get started. Hey mamas, welcome to today's workout. We have a 10-minute first trimester core abs workout. So we're going to work on our core, improve our core function, and keep it strong throughout our pregnancy so we can avoid severe abdominal separation, diastasis recti, and other types of core dysfunction. We're going to begin with some breathing exercises. So I'm going to show you in a couple different positions from the side. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to inhale, inflate the belly like a balloon. You want to expand the rib cage 360 degrees. So we're breathing through the diaphragm. Then inhale, exhale. We're drawing the belly button in toward the spine, engaging lower, middle, upper abs, and then letting the ribs come down. So we're engaging that core. So we inhale, inflate the belly like a balloon, and exhale, deflate the belly like you're trying to get all that air out. So I'll show you here. Also from the side, you can see, inhale that expansion through the rib cage. So we're breathing up into the diaphragm. Exhale, do you see it goes lower, middle, upper, close the rib cage. We're going to keep going. 2 minutes here. You may not see a flat stomach here depending on where you're at in the pregnancy. I've got a little kind of something going on here because in the first trimester I'm starting to show a little bit. But a flat stomach is not the goal. You just want to see that core engage. You want to feel like you've got a corset around your waist. Things are tight, ribs are close, so we're not flaring here. And that we're breathing deeply. We feel that expansion. And then we close everything. Again, I'll show you from here. Really nice and slow here. And I recommend this deep breathing every day through all trimesters. You can continue this. About 2 minutes, maybe 3 is going to be ideal. Okay, we're going to move on now to a scorpion lift. So we're going to maintain this same position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Brace that core. Exhale, we're going to drive the front foot to the ceiling. So flex the foot, push it to the ceiling. Inhale to lower. Exhale, keeping that leg bent about 90 degrees. Driving the heel upward toward the ceiling. We stop when that knee's about hip height. We don't want to go too high and extend into the lower back here. And if you need to, you can take a little longer rest, the knee at the bottom. This is really great for that deep core and pelvic floor engagement, also the glutes and hamstrings. It's not about the rep count, so just take it as slow as you'd like. There's no pressure to get in a lot of reps or get the heart rate up here. We want to focus on, again, using that core control and strength. Okay, shift back for just a second. We'll just rest the arms, and then we're going to move to the other side. So same exact thing again. And I'm not resetting my breath every time. So you can see once I take that initial exhale, I'm holding it while still continuing to exhale in and out. I'm just not taking those deep breaths anymore. And if you want to reset at the bottom every time, that's fine, but there's no need to do that. You just keep that core engagement. And the more you practice it, the more it will become second nature. So a lot of people tell me they can't get the breathing. I say just keep practicing and keep working on it. Keep watching the videos, and you will get the hang of it. It's a mind-body connection thing. It's a neurological thing. So it really does take a lot of practice. Okay, we're gonna move next into some more core work. And for this, we're gonna come into a side plank position. So go ahead and come onto your forearm, elbow under shoulder, bend your bottom leg and straighten the top leg. You can either place your top hand on your hip or reach as you lift your bottom hip. Again, deep core brace here. So pulling from mid or lower mid to upper abs, keeping those ribs closed and keeping hips square to the front. We're keeping that belly button pulled in toward the spine. And then we're lifting here through the transverse abdominis and the obliques, through those hip abductors as well, pushing through the forearm and lifting through that top hand. So we're staying square to the front, lifted through the waistline. This is a really functional exercise because we're working on shoulder stability, hip stability, and core stability all together. All those things function as a part of the core unit. So it's really important to train our body in positions that are going to strengthen our core along with other muscles surrounding. So now we're going to add a little pulse to that side plank. So you can come down, rest for a second. And we're going to stay in that top range and pulse. Little pulse up and down. Now we're here for a long time. So if this gets intense, which it will, hang on as long as you can and then take a break, come down onto the floor and join us again when you're ready. Make sure you're keeping that core tight and you're not protruding. The abdomen you're keeping, of course, you may have more of a baby bump at this point, so you may see some of that rounding of the abdomen, but the way you know is you'll see it right down the midline. If you see any sort of core compensation happening, that coning or doming, it'll be right down the midline. It won't just be a full round belly. It'll look like it's pushing out at the midline. We always want to be mindful of that, pregnant or postpartum, especially if you've had consecutive pregnancies. For me, this is my third in just a few years, so I'm more likely to have that compensation earlier on. Okay, we're going to move on to the other side now with that side forearm plank. That's why it's all the more important to train our core, focus on ab strength during early pregnancy. Of course, it's never too late no matter where you're at, but if you're here in your first trimester, you're going to be off to such a good start in terms of preventing severe core dysfunction. Now, diastasis recti will happen for most people. That said, you can mitigate it by doing exercises like this to help train the deep core pelvic floor and using your breath. If you're going to do one thing, the breath work is so crucial, but all these exercises will really help prevent severe core dysfunction and keep you strong throughout your pregnancy, more comfortable throughout your pregnancy, and it'll make it so much easier postpartum to retrain your core because really you've already been doing the work through your whole pregnancy. So no matter what happens in labor, delivery, these exercises will pay off. Even if you have C-section, which I have had two and I will have to have a third. So I want my core to be strong because I know that recovery is going to be a beast. Add the pulses here. Driving from that underside of the hip, pushing up, keeping that core tight through the obliques, transverse abdominis, those corset muscles, and the rectus abdominis is the front of the muscles. And again, those are the muscles that separate during diastasis recti. But it's not just the rectus abdominis we want to work on strengthening. It's all those muscles in the deep core that are important to strengthen so we can maintain that core integrity. Just a couple more seconds. We're almost there. All right, now we're moving on to our back. So we're only going to be here for a short while, but if you ever feel uncomfortable here, you can always turn over onto your side. We're going to take the knees over the hips, hands to the ceiling. We're going to do a dead bug. So extend your front leg and your back arm over the shoulder, front leg toward the floor. Exhale on the way back up. Exhale on the way out, and then inhale on the way back up. So we're lengthening the leg, lengthening the arm away from the body, keeping this knee over the hip, and then coming back up. Now pay attention to your core here. Is your core staying engaged here? Are you feeling your back lift or a lot of compensation happening? Modify here. Tap the toe, keep the knee bent. You can also take the arm out, but I like to include the arms. That helps us focus on keeping the rib cage down as we come back together. It's a little bit of a coordination thing. Even I've done this a million times and can still find ways to mess it up, but that's okay. All right, we're gonna come back to the hands and knees. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, lift the knees off the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is what I call a bear plank lift. We're just holding 5 seconds and we're really focusing on driving in that core, pushing through the hands, knees barely come off the ground. It's only 5 seconds, so I want you to try to keep your knees close to the ground and keep that shoulder alignment right over the wrist. And focus on 360-degree breathing here, and then engaging that core from the bottom up. You're gonna feel some shaking happening. That's all good. Last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, you guys. We made it through the workout. So that's your 10-minute first trimester core workout. I'd recommend it about 3 times a week just for optimal improving core strength and function, maintaining core strength in your abdominals throughout pregnancy, and we'll change it up each trimester. So be sure to come back during the 2nd and 3rd trimester. We will have ab workouts as well as a ton of other workouts for you there. As far as the breathing goes, I would suggest every day. If you can do that diaphragmatic breathing every single day, you're not going to overdo it. Just 2 minutes a day. You don't need to do it more than that, but it's really going to help you optimally connect to your core. And that's going to help not just during exercise. You could do it right before a workout every time, or you could just do it to start your day. And that's going to help you connect to your core, help you think about your posture and your breathing just throughout everyday life, because that is so, so critical during pregnancy and beyond, because it only gets more difficult the more crowded things get as we progress through our pregnancy. So I'm going to keep taking you along. Hope you enjoyed the workout today, and I'll see you next time.